The Syrian crisis is very important because we are sharing a border with Syria. It's a border of 1,100 kilometers of border. Syria is a neighboring country to Turkey, and we want a stable and secure Syria. And you know what happened after Aleppo. Three countries, Turkey, Russia and Iran, convened together to look for a ceasefire in the country, and we started the so-called Astana process in Syria. And over the almost, it is going to be a 1 year when we started this process, and we have managed to maintain a ceasefire in the country, because what we for a peaceful solution in Syria, we need to have a ceasefire. We need to provide humanitarian assistance to the people in need. So this process has been successful, and will continue to work with Iran and Russia in this process. But this Astana process does not is not intended to replace the UN track, which is the first track for the political solution of Syria. Astana process is complementing the UN track, and what brings those three countries in the Astana process is that we advocate the territorial integrity and political unity of Syria. Turkey is against the division of Syria, and we would like to see a political transition in Syria. But if you look at what happened in Syria, well, almost hundreds of thousands of people died, hundreds of thousands of people were wounded. 6 million people, Syrians, are outside the country. More than 3 million in Turkey, more than 1 million in Lebanon, and 6 million people internally displaced in Syria. That is, I mean, almost half of the population of Syria. So we need to find a political solution, but what happened in Syria, someone should be held responsible. And Turkey continues to believe that Assad is responsible of what happened in Syria. We don't believe that Syria's future can be built with Assad, so there has to be a political transition, and now our efforts are focused on this political transition in Syria, and the Syrian people should decide the future of Syria with fair and free elections, hopefully at the end of the process with a new constitution. And the parameters of the solution in the future, I repeat, we don't think that the future of Syria will be built with the current leadership in the country. I think the Syrian people will decide on that, and when there will be free and fair elections with the observation of the UN, the Syrian people will decide the future of Syria. We are working on that together with our partners.
Okay. What will be the Turkish practical steps to answer the American plan towards Jerusalem?
Well, the decision of the American administration to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel is against the international law and is totally against the contravention of the UN Security Council resolutions. I think when we heard about this decision, the Turkish Foreign Ministry made a declaration immediately considering this decision as null and void, And we immediately called for an extraordinary meeting of the OIC, Organization of Istanbul Islamic Conference. And the summit meeting was held last Wednesday in Istanbul, and there was a strong decision adopted by the OIC against this decision. I think the Islamic world, Islamic countries should stand united, and that is the only way. That will create a pressure on the Americans to reconsider their decision. I think Turkey, together with the countries of the OIC, showed the necessary reaction, but we should continue and we should stand united as the countries of the OIC on that matter. Well, I don't know what exactly those two countries, what kind of role they are playing, but I can tell you about how Turkey sees Lebanon. First of all, we have deep-rooted social, cultural, historical ties with Lebanon and the Lebanese people. As an ambassador, I've been serving in Lebanon for 2 years, and my personal experience is that almost 1 out of 3 Lebanese are somehow connected to Turkey. We have Turkish citizens living in Lebanon. We have Turkmens living in different regions of Lebanon. We have, families connected with the Ottomans in the past. So we have really deep-rooted relations with Lebanon. And Turkey's policy towards Lebanon, we consider Lebanon as a neighboring country. And for us, Lebanon's stability, security, prosperity is very important. We consider the stability and security of Lebanon as ours. And we continue to support the Lebanon and the Lebanese people. So we try to play a constructive role. Maybe our role is not visible as the other countries, but even behind the scenes, we exert efforts for the stability of Lebanon. And this is very important. This is very important for us, especially in the recent situation. The developments with regard to Prime Minister Hariri's resignation. We made it very clear. We made 2 official statements. We underlined our support to Lebanon. Our presidents spoke over the telephone as well, and because we have enough problems in our region, we have, in Syria, Iraq, the situation in Gulf, so we don't need another problem in our region. So we attach and we continue to attach utmost importance to the stability of Lebanon. And as the Turkish ambassador, and we try to reach out to the Lebanese people. Lebanon, there are different communities living in Lebanon. There are 18 recognized sects in Lebanon in the constitution. But for Turkey, we consider the Lebanese people as one. And through our cultural projects, our social development projects, we are not making any discrimination when we do projects. I can give you one example. We are not. We try to reach out to the Christian communities as much as the Muslim communities in Lebanon too. So we will continue to support Lebanon, and that is the role that we are trying to play because we consider Lebanon as a neighboring country, as a friendly country, and we continue this constructive role in the future as well. If you are asking me the Turkey's position towards the Muslim Brotherhood, the Muslim Brotherhood, as far as I know, is a legitimized political party in many countries, in many Arabic countries. Well, it is up to every country to decide what to do in their domestic politics. But if you are asking me the position of Turkey when, for example, President Morsi was elected in Egypt as the president of Egypt, I think what was important at that time for Turkey, that at the end of a free elections, democratic election, Egyptians made a decision, and this decision was important. It wasn't, I mean, just one specific, I mean, person, but the decision of the people. So we respected, as Turkey, we respected to that decision. As to the approach of some Gulf countries towards this party, it is their internal matter. We don't have, I do not want to comment on that, but I just wanted to underline Turkey's approach towards the democratically elected parties and leaders.